Welcome back to your daily English dose.
Great to be here.
Okay, so if you're an English learner and you've ever felt, completely stuck,
Hmm.
maybe you've been studying for years, going to classes, plowing through grammar books.
Right, doing all the right things.
Exactly, but the results just aren't showing up when you actually try to talk to someone.
Yeah, that gap between study and real use.
Then this deep dive is really made for you. Today, we're getting into immersion learning.
Hmm.
And look, this isn't just some new fad, is it? It's more like a whole different philosophy.
It really is. It's designed for that frustrated adult learner.
Our mission today is basically to show you that feeling stuck. It's probably not you, it's often the method.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That cycle of frustration, it's so common. Research shows loads of adult learners drop off.
Yeah, I've heard that, like within the first few months.
Exactly, often around 3 months,
Yeah.
because conventional study can feel like this painful chore, you know, hard to sustain. IL is kind of the antidote to that. We want to show it's reliable. It's backed by science.
Give people practical steps.
Yes, a real roadmap. And maybe redefine English learning, not as this duty, but more like a way to make life richer.
Okay, let's dig into the science then. People need to know this actually works if they're going to commit.
Totally. So the core idea of immersion learning, IL, is this big mental shift.
Okay,
You stop seeing English as a subject like maths or history.
something you just study.
Right. And you start treating it like a tool, a medium you use to learn about other things about the world.
So it's about creating an environment, like surrounding yourself with English.
Precisely. Intentionally building that English bubble around you.
Now, you mentioned this isn't some new internet thing.
No, not at all. It's got real history. The modern version, arguably, kicked off way back in 1965.
Wow, okay. Where was that?
In Montreal, Canada. They started a French immersion program in a kindergarten class.
For English-speaking kids?
Yep. Parents wanted their kids to be truly bilingual. And it worked so well, it proved immersion isn't just a casual idea. It's a tested, effective strategy.
So it's established. Okay. If the goal is acquisition, which sounds deeper, more permanent than just studying what's actually happening in the brain, what's the engine here?
Well, that brings us to Stephen Creation. His input hypothesis is really key.
The I+1 thing.
That's the one. The basic idea is that real language acquisition, that sort of unconscious learning.
The stuff that just sticks.
Yeah, exactly. And it happens when you understand messages, but they're just a tiny bit beyond your current level. Your level is I.
Okay.
The message needs to be comprehensible, but with that little bit of new stuff, the my plus one. That's the challenge that sparks growth.
But how do you know if, say, the Netflix show you picked is actually I+1, or if it's just way too hard, like noise?
That is a critical question. And surprisingly, research gives us a pretty good guideline.
Really? Like a number?
Yeah, roughly. For the most efficient learning, the content should ideally only have about 2 to 3% unknown words.
2 to 3%. That sounds quite specific.
It is. Think about it. If you're stopping to look up like every 10th word, you're completely losing the flow. That's probably noise.
Right. You're not really immersing then.
But if you understand everything, no challenge, no mealy plus one, you need that sweet spot.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, Krashen talked a lot about kids, right? But we're adults. We've spent years learning consciously, studying grammar in our own language. How does that fit in?
Ah, yes, the adult advantage. This is like the turbocharger for Krashen's engine.
A turbocharger. I like the sound of that.
Well, acquisition, the I plus one, is still the main driver. But as adults, we don't have to just wait for our brains to figure out all the rules unconsciously.
You can use our study skills.
Exactly. Use that grammar book, but not to become a grammar master overnight. Use it strategically, efficiently, to build that foundational I.
So learn the basics consciously.
Yeah, preload that knowledge. It just makes understanding the plus one stuff much smoother, much faster.
Okay, interesting. And that leads to another idea, right? Something about not starting from zero.
Yes. Jim Cummins' theory. It's called Common Underlying Proficiency, or CUP.
CUP, okay.
This is huge for adult learners. So many think, oh, I have to build a whole new English brain from scratch.
Yeah, that feels daunting, like throwing away everything you already know.
But CUP says that's wrong. Think of an iceberg. The languages you speak, like English L2 and your native language L1, they look different on the surface.
Right, different words, different sounds.
But underneath the water, there's this massive shared base. Your core intellectual skills.
What kind of skills?
Advanced thinking. Logical reasoning, problem solving, understanding complex ideas, critical thinking.
Yeah.
You developed all that in your first language.
So my ability to, I don't know, analyze a situation or organize a project in my native language,
Huh?
that helps with English.
Absolutely. Those high-level cognitive abilities, what Cummins called CALP, cognitive academic language proficiency, they
Yeah.
transfer directly.
Wow.
Your brain is already wired for complexity because of your L1.
Yeah.
You're leveraging years of mental development. You are definitely not starting at zero.
It's actually a massive relief to hear, seriously.
It should be. And that leads us into the benefits. When you really commit to immersion, it changes things fundamentally.
Okay, like benefit number one, developing the English brain. What does that actually mean? How does immersion help things stick better than flashcards?
It's all about context, richness.
Hmm.
Flashcards give you a word like apple and a translation. It's thin.
Just a word pair.
Right. But
No?
in immersion, you learn apple because you see someone eating one in a show, you hear the crunch, you see the red color, maybe feel the character's hunger or enjoyment.
Ah, so it's connected to senses, emotions, story.
Exactly. The information gets absorbed into this rich web of meaning that makes recall much stronger and more natural. You know how to use the word, not just what it means.
And it must help with understanding actual native speech, right? Which is often so fast and different from textbook audio.
Oh, massively. That continuous massive input tunes your ear. Your brain starts to normalize the real rhythms, the intonation.
And that linking thing, where words smush together.
Yes, linking. That's a huge one. You almost never hear a native speaker say, get a job, nice and clearly.
It's more like get a job.
Precisely. Immersion, especially conscious immersion, where you're really listening, it slowly trains your brain to hear those connected sounds, not as mush, but as meaningful chunks.
Okay, that's huge for listening skills. But I think benefit number two might be the biggest deal for people listening. It's about motivation. You mentioned the 3-month drop-off, people burn out. How does IL fix that?
It flips the script entirely. It makes learning enjoyable, almost optional feeling.
Because you choose stuff you like.
Exactly. The content becomes the focus. Love space, find English space documentaries. Love baking, watch English baking shows on YouTube.
So English stops being this like medicine you have to take.
Yes.
Yeah.
And becomes a hobby, something you look forward to. And that shift is crucial because it guarantees the #1 condition for success in language learning.
Which is?
Consistency. Simple as that.
Yeah.
If it's fun, you'll keep doing it day after day. That's the magic ingredient.
Makes total sense. And there's even a third benefit, right? It actually makes your brain better.
Yeah, beyond just the language, the research, like those Canadian studies on immersion kids, points to broader cognitive boosts.
Like what?
Things like enhanced flexible thinking, better problem-solving skills. Being bilingual seems to give your brain a workout that strengthens its overall processing power.
Wow. Plus, just consuming all that diverse content.
Right. You learn about different cultures, different perspectives. It improves your adaptability, your understanding of the world. Super important in today's global society. You're basically upgrading your brain's operating system.
Okay, I'm sold on the why. Let's get practical. The roadmap. You mentioned a step 0.
Yes. Step 0. Crucial, especially for adult beginners. We can't skip the foundation.
Because trying to jump into a complex drama with 0 English.
Oh, not I+1. It's like I+100. You'll just drown. It won't work. Step 0 is getting that basic I level sorted.
So what does that mean? Like basic grammar, vocabulary?
Yeah, generally aiming for around a middle school level of grammar understanding and some core vocabulary, just the essentials to get started.
So we're not talking about mastering grammar books here.
Definitely not. The goal is efficient coverage, not perfection. My advice, get one thin, clear grammar guide.
Just one.
Just one to start. Blitz through it in the first few weeks. Get that foundation laid efficiently. Think of it as greasing the wheels for the immersion phase. It prevents hitting constant roadblocks later.
Okay, foundation set. Step 1, environment design. This is where we actually start immersing.
Yep, you have to be intentional. Look at the time you spend consuming media in your native language.
Scrolling social media, watching local TV.
Right, and start swapping that out for English. Change your phone language. Tell YouTube or Netflix you prefer English content. Build that bubble.
And picking the right content is key here, especially for beginners or intermediates. You mentioned that 2-3% rule, but how does that translate practically?
For beginners and low intermediates, aim for content you can understand maybe 60–70% of with English subtitles on initially.
60–70%. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff works well for that level?
Things with strong visuals and fairly predictable plots are great, like Many overseas dramas or sitcoms
Yep.
or things you already know the story of. Watching an English dub of a popular anime like One Piece or Demon Slayer can be fantastic because you already understand the context.
Smart. Takes some pressure off understanding every word.
Exactly. And for absolute beginners, don't be afraid of children's shows. Something like Curious George is amazing. Simple language, super visual context.
Right. Okay. So we've got our content. Step 2 is about how we consume it, not just passively letting it wash over us.
No, definitely not. It has to be active input.
Yeah.
You need to engage your brain. Initially, use those English subtitles, but use them actively. Connect to the sounds you're hearing, the rhythm, the linking to the words you're reading.
So read along as you listen.
Yes. And repetition is your friend here. Watch the same scene, maybe a 5 or 10-minute chunk, multiple times.
Really? The same bit over and over.
It works wonders. You'll notice phrases that were just noise the first time suddenly become clear on the third watch. Your brain starts decoding.
And then eventually, try turning the subtitles off.
Yes. Gradually reduce your reliance on them. You have to force your brain to process the audio directly. It can be uncomfortable, but that's where real listening improvement happens.
Okay, active input. Now, step 3 is tools, right? Making this efficient. We can't just write down every single new word.
No, that would be incredibly slow.
Yeah.
We want focused, contextual learning. So tool number 1, Anki.
The spaced repetition flashcard app.
Exactly. It's brilliant for making vocabulary stick. But don't waste hours making the cards.
Use tech to help.
Definitely. Use something like ChatGPT. You can paste in sentences from your show with a tricky word and ask it to create a closed deletion card. The sentence with the word blanked out. Saves so much time.
That's a great tip. Any other tools?
Yes, for watching on a computer, the Language Reactor browser plugin is fantastic.
What does that do?
It works with Netflix and YouTube. It gives you dual language subtitles, lets you hover over words for instant translations, and makes it easy to control playback, repeat lines. It's like a superpower for immersion.
Awesome. Okay, so we're actively inputting using tools. Step 4 is about balancing all that input with output, actually using the language.
Correct. All that listening and reading fills your head with knowledge, but you need output speaking or writing to make it truly usable.
And it shows you where your gaps are too, right?
Precisely. Output is like a diagnostic tool. But the balance is important, especially early on.
What's the recommended balance?
For the first, say, 3 months, the initial heavy immersion phase, I'd suggest a ratio of about 9.1.
9 to 1. So 90% input, only 10% output. That sounds skewed.
It might sound it, but think about it. You need to build that deep well of understanding first. If you try to output too much too early before you've absorbed the patterns.
You just make the same mistakes over and over.
Exactly. You risk fossilizing errors. Input feeds the well. Fill the well substantially before you start drawing heavily from it. That massive input improves the quality of your eventual output dramatically.
Okay, that makes sense. But for beginners, that 10% output can still feel scary, speaking to real people.
Totally understandable. So
Yeah.
start with low-pressure activities. My top recommendation, talking to yourself.
Just narrating your day.
Yep, in English. Okay, now I'm making coffee. I need milk. It sounds simple, but it gets you forming sentences without pressure.
I do that, mainly arguing with myself in the shower, but still.
Perfect. Another great one is shadowing.
Mimicking native speakers.
Yes. Listen to a short phrase or sentence, then immediately try to repeat it, copying the pronunciation, rhythm, intonation exactly. Great for pronunciation and flow.
Okay. Anything else?
You could try having conversations with an imaginary friend. Seriously. Practice explaining things or arguing a point out loud just to get used to structuring your thoughts in English without fear of judgment.
All right, we have the roadmap. But immersion isn't foolproof. There are traps people fall into. Trap number 1 sounds familiar. Perfectionism.
Oh, it's a huge one. The desire to understand absolutely 100% of everything.
Stopping the video every 10 seconds to look up a word.
Right. It completely kills the flow, the enjoyment, and honestly, the efficiency. Your brain needs that continuity to pick up the rhythm and context.
So what's the antidote? How do you fight that urge?
You have to consciously embrace the good enough mindset. Don't aim for perfection. Use the context, the pictures, the actor's tone. Try to guess the meaning.
That guessing skill is actually important.
It's a vital language skill. Only stop and look up words that keep reappearing and are genuinely blocking your overall understanding. Learn to be comfortable with a little ambiguity. I get the gist is a win.
Okay, let the little words go. Trap number 2. Expecting results too quickly.
Because acquisition is often unconscious, Progress isn't always linear or immediately obvious day to day.
So you don't get that instant gratification like finishing a grammar chapter.
Exactly. And that lack of visible progress can be really discouraging, leading people to think this isn't working and quit.
So how do you avoid that frustration trap?
Two things. First, mentally frame language learning as a long game. Maybe even say the 10-year journey. It takes time.
Manage expectation.
Right. But second, build in intentional checkpoints. Go back and rewatch a video or listen to a podcast episode you struggled with 3 or 6 months ago.
Ah, so you can actually see the progress you've made.
Precisely. When you realize how much easier it is now, that tangible evidence provides a massive motivation boost. It proves the process is working, even if you don't feel it daily.
That makes sense. Keep the faith by proving it to yourself. And that persistence is key for what comes next, right? This idea of a breakthrough.
Yes. This is what keeps people going. So many successful learners report this. This sudden feeling, often nonlinear, where things just click.
Like what?
Like suddenly English just seems to enter their brain as English. The internal translation step disappears. They just understand.
Wow, that's the dream, isn't it?
It really is. And it's not magic. It seems to happen when all that daily accumulated input reaches a certain critical mass.
Is there any sense of how much input that takes?
Well, it varies, of course. But interestingly, some learners who meticulously track their immersion time notice this breakthrough happening around the 690-hour mark of dedicated content consumption.
690 hours, that's a number.
It is. And knowing that figure, that specific target, can be really motivating. It helps you understand that the early struggles aren't endless.
Every hour you immerse is like a deposit.
Exactly. A deposit in your language bank. You're building towards that 690-hour threshold or whatever your personal threshold is. And when you hit it, the feeling is apparently incredible. The floodgates open. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Immersion learning. It's backed by science like Krashen's I+1 and Cummins CUP.
Leveraging your adult brain power.
It tackles the motivation problem by making learning fun, built around content you actually enjoy.
Turning duty into a hobby.
And it's designed to avoid that frustration loop of traditional methods. It really is about changing your life by, well, changing what you watch and listen to.
You really have all the tools you need now. And remember, the absolute key, the only real condition for success.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Yeah.
Just keep showing up. So the call to action is start today. Do one small thing.
Like changing your phone language.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Or find one YouTube channel you like and watch a video in English instead of your native language.
Yeah.
Commit to shadowing just one scene from a movie tonight.
Small steps.
Small, consistent steps. Focus on enjoying the process. Trust the science. Keep making those deposits.
Yeah.
And that nonlinear breakthrough, it will come.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for breaking all that down. Hopefully this gives everyone listening a clear path forward on their immersion journey, aiming for that 690-hour breakthrough.
My pleasure. Go for it.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time on your Daily English Dose.